Been a sharp increase in violent house robberies in Gauteng. Private security companies have noted a surge in the last 2 months. For more on this, I'm joined by the Managing Director of Beagle Watch, private security company, Aton. Andre, thanks for your time. Appreciate it. So what I found very interesting is that elderly residents are now becoming prime targets for criminals. Just tell us how they're operating.
Thank you, Shahan. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to be on your show. Yes, we have seen a dramatic increase over the last couple of months, namely a number of elderly folk who have been targeted in what we would call these violent home invasions that we haven't literally seen in the past. Elderly folk seem to have been targeted by either working at home in their gardens or generally around the home when perhaps they're not aware of their surroundings and becoming or being in a complacent situation where you present yourself to the criminal. So it is shocking news for us in terms of the amount of incidents we are having where the actual elderly folk are having to be treated by health practitioners on the scene of these violent crimes that are taking place.
Yeah, I see they have been very violent because in the story written by IOL, I see that an 80-year-old man lost his teeth and, an elderly woman was also overpowered by a group of criminals in her home. So which areas are these criminals operating in?
Look, Sean, there's no exact specific areas that are being targeted. We do cover a fairly wide footprint of the northern and western suburbs. And as I sit here now, I'm happy to say that it's not any specific area that's targeted. We are seeing these violent home invasions taking place in respective suburbs. The certain suburbs that are and do have perhaps boomed access are slightly lower targeted type areas, but they still do occur. So it is a wide range of areas, which is also concerning for us. So the criminals are fully understanding that there's a wide range of areas to be targeted.
And of course, the elderly are easy targets, it seems, right? So it looks like they're watching them and first seeing how they operate, how their day goes on. For instance, gardening at a certain time, etc. How can people protect themselves? What's your advice?
My advice, I think being hands-on and being on the ground on some of these incidents that have taken place, I am shocked and concerned at the level of security in these respective homes. I think one of the most fundamental aspects to our crime today is the complacency levels that we have within our residents and within society. We become complacent and we present ourselves to the criminals. We only, unfortunately, as a nation, seem to attack the problem and address the problem once we've become a victim of crime. And again, first-hand experience, when you arrive at the home of some of these violent robberies that have taken place, there's simply no family plan that is in place. There's simply no adjustment of the staff that work for you or addressing the staff so that there is a proper plan, a thorough plan in place should your home become a target. I also refer to opening up of gates to service providers that perhaps arrive at your property. We live in a society at the moment, this is a no-go area. And I urge the elderly and I urge all customers and residents in our respective areas, it's not necessary to make the investment of high sophisticated security at this stage. What is most important is that you sit your family down and make the investment of time and have a plan in place should you become a victim. Most of the cases that I arrive on the scenes, there is absolutely no plan in place, and it is a traumatic experience that somebody will live for the rest of their life.
Yeah, it is. And these rob and run, so to speak, things that are happening, are we finding the criminals? Are police arresting people related to these crimes, or are they getting away with it?
Well, I guess there's a lot of negative publicity about the SAPS services and your respective CPFs that are in the respective suburbs. I've got my own opinion of it. I am fortunately surrounded by very proactive policing, very proactive CPF platforms that I don't think residents and individuals in the street always know the amount of work that goes behind. To get to your question about is there success, absolutely. We follow up on every lead that we have. We analyze the data that we are gathering through these robberies. We make use of sophisticated camera systems to try and understand the modus of operandi, who was involved, what routes did they follow, what vehicles are being used, can the vehicle be flagged, is it a stolen vehicle? So there's a lot of work that is truly happening behind the scenes. And again, I'm happy to support the South African police services in their job, because I see the extensive effort that is being put in, although we don't always recognize it every day.
Yeah, great. It's good to actually let people know that this is happening. Appreciate your time. That was Beagle Watch Armed Response Managing Director Andre Aton.